let's go over the freehand layer, and then maybe we can start breaking apart. So the freehand layer now, it's not a part of any drop-down menu. It's just a toolbar option. Yeah. And you do have to add it. It is basically a layer. So you can see now that I've hit this button to add it, it puts it in the layer tree. This is actually it's not a shapefile or anything. It's a scalable vector graphic that has a geolocation basically. So it's more or less, I guess I would say it's kind of rudimentary, but I think it's getting the job done in most cases. So with the freehand layer active,
can you pull the toolbar onto the map so that it's very clear what's live and what's not?
Right. So
now we have where it starts and stops.
Yeah. You have an option for a rectangle, a text box, or an arrow, and then you can edit those. So if I add a box, draw your box, you can edit the angle, 0 or 45 was kind of cool. You can change the width, you can change the color. And then when you're done, it's just like editing features editing features. So whenever you're done with edits, you always hit enter. So I'm gonna hit enter. So now that's a part of the map. And with a box selector, you can select that feature again. You'd be able to move it if you put it to the wrong place. This just tells you how to accomplish that. Left mouse button to start operation, hold and move for changes. So you want to move that, you just move it. It's a little bit odd because we don't delete that immediately, but once you get it to a place where you want it, you just hit enter, and now you've moved it.
Okay, hold on a second.
Okay.
Click on a different layer in the layer tree. Watch what happens to the freehand bar. So just click on contours or something in the layer tree. So now you can't do anything with the freehand bar because you're not on the freehand layer. So if you're going to do stuff with freehand and you've made it already, you've got to be on the freehand layer before the bar lights up.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it acts like a layer. You can't interact with this if you're on a different layer. So it just acts kind of like a layer. Let's add a text box. So text box there. We don't need it at 45 anymore. So that's going to be 0. Font size, you can change font, anything you want. And then if you want to actually edit the text, it's part of this text box.
I don't think we have a background color.
Oops, I hit enter. So, whoa. Enter. Oh, I think I pressed the wrong button. Oh, there it is. Enter. Okay, same thing to edit it. You can select it and then you can move. And if you want to really edit it, select it and then hit this little wheel right here. So this does all the properties. So that's how you can come in and you can change the text more. And you can edit all the colors and things. So key thing to remember in here really is this little mechanical wheel on the far right has to do with editing anything that needs to be edited. And if you need to move, you hit that. So let's put an arrow in. And this one's a white color. We can make that thicker. Go ahead.
Chris, I have a quick question.
Yep.
So can you do freehand in the geo and also in the PLD or the the template?
It's going to display these freehand objects. So freehand objects are kind of strange. They are not really a part of a print layout document unless they're in the view of your print layout document, but they're not. Different sets of freehand layers don't necessarily save to your print layout document. They just kind of exist on the map because they're not shape files. Yeah.
So if I'm working in a specific area and I have to put a freehand object on my map, I'll do it in the geo, and then that will translate to my print layout document if that's the same extent that I'm looking at, correct?
Right. As long as it's there and it's visible in that area. I mean, the only problem that you might have is if you load that print layout document up later and you didn't realize that you deleted some freehand objects, they're not going to necessarily come back. It's kind of like if you edited a feature, that
you
feature
deleted a shape.
Yeah, or you deleted a shape. It doesn't matter you deleted that. If you saved the document and the shape was there, but then you deleted that shape, it doesn't matter because if you load that document, that shape's gone. It was deleted from the geo.
Or
so
even
it's kind of the same concept.
In the shape layer, if you delete it, it's not going to be there in the free either.
Okay, thank you.
So, like piggybacking off of Steve's question, would it be possible to make it so you can make those freehand little features within the print layout, so that way you can see it on what your map extent is going to be when you're printing? Like the map is going to print.
I think we thought about that.
So that way you don't like set it up in your geo and then go to do your print, and then it doesn't quite line up, and you're having to go back and forth and